They're all going to be able to drill in the Gulf because we don't own the entire Gulf. So while President Hussein Obama here has decided to put a moratorium on drilling and stop our economy, all these guys can still drill. Mexico can still drill. There's nothing stopping them. So great. So we're going to take ourselves out of the game and let others get more power. That's really what that's all about. These are power plants. These are cooling towers. Our traditional power plants maybe take up, and I couldn't guess if I was to drive along the river here and go to visit some of the power plants, what, maybe a few hundred, maybe a few thousand acres at most. I don't know how big they are, but no bigger than that, right? I'm thinking. This, bad news. And now I'm a big fan of alternative energy as far as if it works, let's buy it. Let the capitalist society work. Let people say, I want it for my house, and if your business works, it works. If it doesn't, it fails. These are all being built by subsidies, as you know. That's not working. These things, I learned, I did some research on this, phenomenal. These things run at 30% capacity most of the time. They're never at 100%. Optimal, according to the people who build them, is 30% capacity. These things take up thousands of acres of land. Look at it. You've got a pretty hillside, and then suddenly you got a bunch of wind turbines. They make loud noise. They do kill thousands of birds. In fact, one of these people who've created a new type of turbine admits, they kill birds. Great. Environmentalists, I don't know how they sleep at night. Yeah. We got to save the birds, but we also got to go with wind turbines, which kill the birds. So they must have this internal battle. I feel for these people. Morally, they've got to be so just torn up inside. But tens of thousands of acres. So here's a little something from a guy who invented something new. First of all, look at these turbines. You got 4 of them spinning, 5 of them.
Last year,
I know.
Capacity in America.
All in the middle of an open area, not even turning.
Mostly wind power.
This is a big problem with them.
By large propellers that can only be placed in the countryside. But now a U.S. company is offering a propeller-free personal windmill that can be set up in a city or suburb. The president of Mariah Power, Mike Hess, demonstrates what he calls the WindSpire.
Now this will generate
25 to 30% of the power in your house. But if we're building a 3 kilowatt version, which is only twice the width, same height, and it generates 100% of your power.
Well, not really.
This new system
doesn't really generate 100% of the power.
Friendly exhibit at the U.S. Botanical Garden in Washington. The design was inspired by a 3,000-year-old windmill the Egyptians used to grind wheat. The company had the modern version independently tested here in Utah to prove it can be competitive with large propellers of traditional windmills. The large blades have been known to kill birds and bats, and because they move much faster than speeds, they can be noisy. But Hess says the WindSpire's vertical axis wind turbine is not only very quiet, but also bird-friendly.
Bird-friendly, yes. Because it only spins at 2.5 times the speed of wind so they can see it.
Hess says the company has begun installing the 9-meter-tall devices which can plug into household power, and customers can see on their home computers how much electricity the WindSpire is giving them.
This is the wireless connector which allows them to tell how much power is being produced. It allows them to tell how fast the wind's blowing. All that comes out on a computer readout.
The new windmill design attracts the curiosity of tourists and passers-by, many who might find the WindSpire an affordable way to help power their homes.
Okay, a couple problems. First of all, I think it's a really cool concept, but you see that thing, and maybe out here we can put them in each one of our yards, although wouldn't it be funny with a neighborhood with all these 30-foot tall things spinning around? But imagine that in downtown Cincinnati. There's no room for them. So, okay, they don't work for everyone. Secondly, the only way a wind turbine works the wind's blowing right, and the wind doesn't always blow. Today was a classic example. I do weather forecasting for Hamilton County Department of Environmental Services. They've got a smuggler down for tomorrow. One of the things we look for is wind speed. Today's winds were 3 to 5 miles an hour. That thing would not have been turning, you'd be getting no power. Where do you go for power? Fossil fuel. You gotta go to the backup. That's the problem with the wind turbines. This is just one picture from above of a field with these things of a wind farm. I love that's a nice term, wind farm. Look at that. Thousands of acres. That's just one. There's hundreds of these around the world, and they are failing. Greens, you may have heard about this, because I got to wrap this up. I want to get to this. Spain's economy is being hurt by their green technology. They went to this, and now they're getting out of it. It's killing them because it's costing them 2 to 3 jobs per green job they're creating. Their own government report admitted that. The Zapatero administration put out a report saying there was close to 3 jobs cost for every one, and now they're saying we got to get out. Obama wants to use Spain's model here. Yeah. Amazing. Yes, exactly. You want to use that model here, but it's failing, and they're already in bad debt. You got Greece. Spain's worried about becoming the next Greece. That's why they're getting out of this. Germany, there's going to be riots there. But all these people thought this was the answer. But it only worked with government subsidies. It's not supporting itself. These things, the maintenance on them is ridiculous. The blades break, ice builds up, it shoots off these things. So let's just say the other vertical spire is a cool thing. Could you imagine going and replacing every one of these wind turbines? The cost involved in that? No, it's crazy. This says, we'll work for food, we'll hire workers for carbon credits.
Yeah.
So